Let's move on now to the final series in the second round of the playoffs. And this one is a coin flip right now at Pinnacle. Oilers taking on the Vegas Golden Knights, minus 108 on both sides. Matthias Ekholm will not be available for the Oilers in round two. And on the Vegas side of things, Pavel Dorofeyev, he missed game 6 with an undisclosed injury against the Wild. He was Vegas' leading goal scorer this year with 35 goals. So his status is still up in the air. So Scott, let's start with you on this one. Who do you like in this coin flip series?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm a little surprised that both of these teams made it through. I thought Minnesota and LA early in their series both had them on the ropes. And so I see vulnerability here on both sides, but maybe a little bit more vulnerability with the Oilers because the goaltending again, and trying to predict goaltending is a fool's game, but here I am. That Stuart Skinner really had problems, so they end up going with Calvin Pickard, and Pickard's been a career backup, and for the Oilers, a team that has real Stanley Cup aspirations, I find it hard to believe they're going to be able to do it with Pickard as their goaltender. So they're going to need Skinner to somehow find his game again, or Pickard is just going to have to exceed all expectations. And going against a Vegas team that has lots of playoff experience, won a cup recently with Adin Hill in net, I'm going in their direction here. And the fact that Vegas managed to win in the first round with Jack Eichel producing very little, especially early in the series. I think that's sort of an upside here for Vegas, is that if you get Eichel going in a matchup that he should be super motivated going against McDavid, going back to their draft year when they were 1-2, that, I think Vegas, given their experience and given the Oilers missing Ekholm and their shaky goaltending, I like the Golden Knights at minus 108.
Yeah, Jack Eichel, only 1 goal in 6 games against the Minnesota Wild. It seemed like Stone and Eichel just really did not get going in that series, and Vegas still finished the job in 6 games. All right, Ben, I think we both know where you're going in this series, considering that you picked the Vegas Golden Knights to win the Stanley Cup in our playoff preview. Are you rolling with the Vegas Golden Knights in this series, or have you maybe changed your mind?
So that I did, and no, I haven't changed my mind. I would bet Vegas here at minus 108. I think that's a fair price. It's with more hesitancy, though, now having seen the Oilers just turn it on and take what looked like a series that was in control of the Kings and just run them over. But I do think we need to pump the brakes a little, at least for now, on the Oilers' hype. Just from what I'm seeing, the prices for them now to win the West, to win the Stanley Cup. They're being treated as now one of the 2 favorites to win the conference, one of the top 4 favorites to win the cup. I don't think we could be quite there yet, based on the goaltending and defense. Still major problems. McDavid and Draisaitl totally capable of just backpacking them to win this series, to do the whole thing. But I think more than LA was able to, especially in those last 4 games, Vegas will be able to defend a little better, likely get Kemper didn't play bad, but I'm expecting Hill to just hopefully be average there. But they'll be able to exploit the Edmonton deficiencies on defense and in net a little more than LA was able to down the stretch there. Eichel needs to get going. Vegas knows how to play this Edmonton team. They've beaten them in the playoffs 2 years ago. I think they can do it again. And Ekholm being out still, again, like last series, it didn't matter when I brought this up against the Kings, but I do think it will be a factor here. If Ekholm was in and playing for this series, I'd look more towards the Oilers, but it's still going to be a Vegas bet for me. But I'm sure you can hear it in my voice now. Not as much confidence as I thought I would have prior to that LA series.
All right, so Ben is sticking with his Vegas Golden Knights. Not overly confident, but he's still sticking with the Golden Knights. Guys, I don't know what the LA Kings are going to do, because they had Edmonton on the ropes. It looked like it was the best LA Kings team of the last 4 years, loaded with depth, so good at 5-on-5, defense, goaltending. They had it all. They had a 2-0 series lead. They had a lead in game 3, and then it was good night. Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, the 2 mutants, as I like to call them, it seems like they can just win a series by themselves. Like, they remind me of like LeBron, like carrying the '07 Cavs to the NBA Finals. Like, maybe it's not the greatest comparison. You could say the Oilers maybe have, actually, you know what? Maybe they don't have as much depth as the '07 Cavs did. But it's just crazy what those two guys are able to do. And that's what kind of scares me in this series. But I can't ignore the goaltending. I mean, Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickard, what are we doing here? And you know what, though, to be fair, Aiden Hill was not good in round one either. All three of those goaltenders, Skinner, Pickard, Hill, had negative goals saved above expected in round one. So which goalie is going to step up in round two? I have a lot more confidence that it's going to be Aiden Hill. In this series, I will gladly take the Vegas Golden Knights at -108, although I still think it's going to be tight because of McDavid and Draisaitl, and that's just what they do. There's going to be a couple games where they explode, 3-4 point games. We all know it's coming, but I think Vegas is going to squeak this one out. I think Jack Eichel is going to step up in this series. He was very quiet in round one, as we mentioned. So I will take Vegas in this series at -108, but I think it's going to go the distance here. So I'm also going to sprinkle on the Golden Knights in 7 at +450 at Pinnacle.